Well, it's a cold, wet and miserable November day outside. So in this film today, I thought I'd get things a bit warmer. What I'm going to do today is I'm going to show you how I pick and I preserve my chilies using a food dehydrator. So just within the conservatory, you can see that I've got a fair few chilli plants, some quite varied ones, and some very ripe looking ones. So picking these is fairly straightforward. I just use a pair of scissors to cut each chilli off. And the more often you pick them, the more chilies the plant will produce. So that's just from the first plant. I've got a few more to go. I'll come back to you from the kitchen when I've filled my jug. Okay, well I didn't quite manage to fill the jug, but I think I've done pretty well there for chilies. Right, so the next thing I want to do is to trim my chilies down. So I'm taking the top off like that. I don't want that bit. And then I'm going to cut each chili in half, like so. I'm leaving the seeds in. Don't be scared of the seeds. And then I'm just going to pop them in here. Now, I've got quite a few chilies to go. And in fact, with the small ones like this, I don't even think I'll bother chopping them in half, just the bigger ones. But I do need to trim the tops off. So once I've done all that, I'll come back to you. Right, that's them all chopped. So you know when you're cutting onions and sometimes it makes you tear up? Well, believe you me, as I was cutting some of these, I was getting that, and I even started coughing at one point. Some of these are really hot, and this hand is covered in chili juice. I am going to have to be so careful not to touch my eye or anywhere else that's sensitive. As for the scraps, then they're in there with some other organic rubbish, and that'll be going out into the garden as compost. Before I go any further, I'm going to weigh these out, because when I dehydrate them, it will take out the moisture, which should, in theory, reduce the weight of these. So let's see what I've got currently. So these have been picked and trimmed. So it's not the picked weight, it's the trimmed weight. So there's 226 grams of trimmed chilies in there. Okay, so these are the two different kinds of tray that comes with my dehydrator. So you've got the ones with the grid just here, and then just a standard sort of rack style one just there. Now I think I might have a problem because some of these are going to be too small and will probably fall through either of these. I'll see how I get on and come back to you in a sec. So some of the bigger ones will be absolutely fine. It's the smaller ones that I'm more concerned about. Okay, that will do. What I'm going to do now is put these into the dehydrator. Now when I pick this one up, some of these are going to fall through, and I'm just going to have to keep those to one side and use them in cooking now. So this tray here, that's got the larger chilies on, I'm going to put that in the top of the dehydrator. In fact, I'm going to put it on that shelf. That rack just there. So there is technically a rack space above it, but I don't want it to be in there too tight. And as I'm only putting two shelves in, I don't think it really matters. So there you can see some of the chilies have stayed on the chopping board. So they'll go into food, that's fine, that's not a problem. And these ones are going to go inside the dehydrator. Just there. So I've got 2 racks of chilies in there. So to explain to you, I've got a TurboTronic TurboWave Bio dehydrator. It's got many functions in terms of the times and the temperatures. It's quite good for adjusting for different things. And what I've found is, generally speaking, it's better to put it on a higher temperature than a lower temperature, otherwise you're just waiting for ages. So you can see that it's currently on 70 degrees. I'm going to leave it on 70, and I'm going to turn the timer on to 6 hours. Now you'll hear the fan that's kicked in. So at this point, it literally is just a case of waiting. So I'll come back to you in 6 hours, or possibly before, if there's anything worth reporting. Okay? Catch you in a bit. Hey folks, it's actually the next day. I went to bed before it was finished last night. Let's have a look inside there. So, You can see that some have fallen through to the tray at the bottom as they've shrunk. This is what the larger chilies are now looking like. Now as I pick this up, there's still a very small amount of sponginess to them, which represents liquid. I want them to be crispy. So what I'm going to do is I'm actually going to put them in for another 2 hours. I think these smaller ones will be closer, but because no, even that one I can feel moisture in that still. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to put them back in for another 2 hours. But I'm going to turn them up to 80 this time, all the way. 2 hours. Let's see what happens. I'll be back. Okay, time's up. Let's have a look. Certainly looks a lot drier, but it's still, I can still tell that there's some moisture in this. It does take quite a bit of drying out. So what I'm going to do, I'm just going to give it another hour at 80. You've got to be patient, but it is worth it. If you don't dry it out properly, it'll go mouldy. I'll be back. Okay, the dehydrator seems to have stopped. Let's have another look. Now, it was noticeable this time that I couldn't really smell it very much, so it's definitely getting rid of the moisture, because the moisture is what leads to the smells. Now, I think that's done. Yeah, that sounds quite crispy, doesn't it? So I'll get the top one out. And I'm going to get them all in the kitchen, and then I'm going to weigh them again. Okay, well, this is really quite a result. So the pre-dried weight was 226 grams. The dried weight is 31 grams. So that means that there's 195 grams of water has been dehydrated. That's pretty amazing. And you can hear them. That's nothing like they were before. Okay, so I've got this storage container just here. I'm going to get my chilies now into that. And as you can see, they fit nicely. It's got a lid and they will be completely airtight in there. And these will keep for months. In fact, they could even keep for years, to be honest, but they won't last for years because I do a lot of spicy food. So these are going to go down very well. And when you put them into food, it's amazing how quickly they rehydrate and almost resemble exactly what they were like before. It's quite incredible, actually. Anyway, folks, I hope you've enjoyed the film. It's just been a short film, but I just thought I'd show you like another sort of side to what I do. The dehydrator is a great thing. I'm going to do some more dehydrating videos. I'm going to do apple chips because I think if you're one of my cider viewers, you're probably like me. You're wondering, like, creatively, what can I do with all my apple pieces? So that'll be a future film at some point. But thanks for watching. Hope you've enjoyed the film, and please subscribe to my channel if you haven't already done so. It's all hugely appreciated. Catch you on the next film. The film that you've just watched is a Moss Home and Garden production. You can find more by going to www.mosshomeandgarden.co.uk. I'd just like to say thank you very much for supporting my YouTube channel and for watching my films. It really is very much appreciated. If you haven't already done so, please subscribe to my YouTube channel in order to receive future updates about the home and garden films which I upload. You can find my YouTube channel by going to www.mosshomeandgarden.co.uk. Please click on the red subscribe button. When you've done that, a little bell will appear. If you press that also, then you'll get future updates about the films which I upload. If you like my films, if you like my style of filming, then you might also like my travel channel, which you will find by going to youtube.com/Stuart Moss or type in www.mosstravel.tv. Again, if you could subscribe to that channel, it would be hugely appreciated. If you'd like to get Moss Home and Garden updates on Facebook, then please open Facebook and do a search for Moss Home and Garden, and you will find the page. If you like the page, then you will get future updates on there. And if you'd like to connect on Instagram for home, garden and travel photography, as well as some stories, then my username is Stu Moss, STUMOSS. If you'd like to connect on Twitter, then my username is @StuartMoss. And if you'd like to contact me about film usage or any other issue, please just email me on stewmosshomegarden@gmail.com. Once again, thank you very much for supporting my channel, for watching my films. I do appreciate it. I'd just like you all to have a great day.